I'm just going to do an insight video today. Obviously, with coming up with the new year, there's lots of changes going on. There's been a lot of shifting with energies since about the 21st or 20th of December. I've noticed that there's been sort of like not a lull, but the energies have sort of like slowed down a little bit as there's the build up starting to come into the new year. So I know from like for myself, I haven't done a video for about 2 weeks, which is quite a long time for me. However, this has been more around sort of just starting to feel the energies come in and starting to align with the new energies that are coming. But it's also been about sort of as things start to sort of like the frequencies change, then we start to sort of like align with them. So for me, the last couple of days, like since yesterday, the energies start to heighten again. There's been a shift in. I've had sort of like I've had sort of like I feel like I've got like the Ascended Master Saint Germain around me quite a bit. I've been seeing like a vision or like an image of his human face or his human sort of form in my mind's eye for the last couple of days, and that's very much around transition and transmutation. So it's about transforming energies, and it's shifting and clearing. As we start to with the, like the violet flame, which is very much around sort of like dissolving things, and this is very much where we're going at the moment. I also keep getting this. I've been talking about this third dimensional blueprint. I've been talking about shifting towards a fifth dimensional blueprint. That's still very much going on at the moment within my own sort of energy system and energy frequency. But this is going on for a lot of us on the planet. The external stuff that you're seeing, a lot of it going on with the economy and wars and stuff like that. That's all sort of like the dying and the dissolving of like 3D reality, and a lot of us being sort of like asked to sort of like step into that kind of light. As I start to connect into that energy now, I'm seeing like a white energy and a white light that's just been sort of come into me. I've also got the colours blue, pink with me. So blue is always very much around like healing, knowledge, wisdom, awareness. Pink is very much about harmony, balance, universal love, and then obviously white is about purification. It's about sort of clearing and cleansing, but it's also higher awareness. And I feel this is what's coming in as I start to connect into these energies. I start to feel my third eye start to open up, and my belly's opening up with the energy around my sort of belly and my solar plexus. So the solar plexus is very much around sort of like personal will, personal power, and it sort of connects to manifestation and creation as well. So I feel this is what's going on at the moment. I've been seeing like triangles over the last couple of days, which are sort of like pyramids to me, or they're always sort of like symbolic to me as portals. As we start to move into these higher energies and these higher frequencies, we're starting to connect into that as we start to move in through the changes. The fifth dimensional blueprint needs to be created, but it's not being created. Again, I talk about this universal law of correspondence, which is the inside. And this is very much where the spirit lives, and this is very much where the I am presence lives, and this is very much where the fifth dimensional reality and blueprint is created and manifested. And I feel this is what I'm being told to connect to. Also, I'm being given again the symbolic shape of a diamond, and the diamond is symbolic of heaven on earth. So it's talking about creation, it's talking about manifestation, it's talking about the universal law of oneness, and it's talking about all these kind of things because it's making us aware that the creative aspect or the creative light or the creative spark that's in with each of us it needs to be sort of awakened, and you need to be aware of it. And you do this through the universal law of correspondence, because by going within, what you do is you connect to a higher frequency, you connect to your source energy, and your source energy is where you create from, because it also opens up the channels to all the universal or spiritual dimensions, and it connects you to your guides, to your helpers, the ascended masters. And I'm being told or being directed to, as I start to connect into that, I feel like there's a white light, like a line of energy going down my whole of my sort of like my chakras, my energy frequencies. And as I start to connect it, it comes down, but there's also this diamond shape that goes around it. And I feel as I start to connect into a frequency is shifting and changing in me. So it's even just once you become aware of it and you start to open up to it, I'm also being drawn to the heart center, or like the heart chakra again, which is this center. It's sort of like it's like a doorway to go into the energy and start to feel it. I've also got angelic presence that are with me as I start to talk about this, because I've got 2 angel wings. So now the angelic presence are coming through, and they're bringing energy for each and every one of us to heal us and to move us through as we start to with this kind of awareness, this shift in awareness, so we can start to heal, dissolve, let go, and accept as we start to move through. I think acceptance is a really important one because it brings balance, harmony, healing, understanding, but it starts to then break that kind of consciousness that we've got attached to the third dimensional reality, where we believe these things that happen outside of us is where reality and where life is really happening, when it's not. It's happening within us. And this is what they keep drawing me to. They keep drawing me back into that inner experience, because when you're in there, you're in a different state of consciousness, you're in a different state of light, you're in that source energy. And what that does is it dissolves the 3D reality, and it allows you then to open up and start to create a 5D reality, which is this spiritual reality. And this is where you start talking about like heaven on earth again. I've talked about heaven on earth many times before, which is very much around creating that kind of spiritual experience, but you also start to know that you can manifest and create. So a lot, like for me personally, over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I've had a lot of the 3D reality that's come through to me. I've had a lot of Christmas has come through, and there's a lot of worries around money. I've also got like a new interview coming up for like a job interview that I have. So then I'm focused on that. But all of this is focused on the external again. But what they've been saying to me is I need to go within myself and let those things go. Things have been provided for. The abundance is there. It's about trust, but it's also about just remaining in that vibration. Because what you do is you don't realize is when you're in that inner vibration, you're in that fifth dimensional reality or consciousness. You're receiving, but also existing and vibrating from a much higher state of awareness. And this is what they want to say to me. So it's like when you get caught up in your physical mind and the 3D reality of all the things that are happening outside of you, you're then becoming attached, but you're also becoming integrated in that 3D reality again, that 3D blueprint, which is what we're trying to move away from. And this is what a lot of that's coming through with the Ascended Masters teachings at the moment. They're very much, when they talk about, they talk about Telos, they talk about Shambhala, they talk about all these sort of ethereal sort of realms that are on the planet already here. We're being told to generate, or not generate, but just like sort of like integrate and start to connect to those kind of that kind of frequency. So I've just been given a staff as well in my hand, and I always feel like whenever I'm given like a wooden staff or a staff, any kind of staff, it's telling me that there's a guide with you, or there's guidance with you. That's why you've been given a staff. The staff is like relates to like the hermit, or it relates to that kind of symbolic spiritual being that guides you, and the staff is also sort of seen as like quite a wise old energy that brings that kind of information and that wisdom to you. So I mean, I've been given a staff because I'm being guided. It's telling me that I'm being guided at the moment with these kind of things. So these things that are coming through are very much being guided. But it's shifting, the energy's shifting just as I start to talk to you. I feel there's a shift in my vibration. It's becoming lighter, it's becoming the vibration is becoming sort of like lighter and like higher, and it's bringing a different kind of frequency as I start to talk to you now. So I know this is starting to open up, but this fifth dimensional reality is really what is the main thing that I feel is what these Ascended Masters are trying to really sort of like bring to us as spiritual beings, as light workers, as energy healers, as mediums, as psychics. We've been brought through to this because this fifth dimensional blueprint is the key that will unlock so much for us at the moment, because it will unlock the planet, because the planet will shift in a vibration. We shift as individuals, but we don't what we then do is we then shift into become connected to like the brotherhood of light, which is this universal family. This is a universal family of teachers, of ascended masters, of angels, of all these ascended beings that are actually around us and with us on this planet at the moment as we start to move through. So obviously going into the new year, this is a massive one. So what is your vision? What is the fifth dimensional blueprint that you want to create for yourself? It's about letting go. Once you start to realize that when you let go of that 3D reality, that 3D blueprint, then actually what you start to see is there's a flow to the universe. There's a flow of energy that's coming in, and all you have to do is let go. And this is one of the things that they've been pushing for me over the last few months, and it's something that I still struggle with, because I still feel like being in a physical human form, you're very much connected to 3D reality, and it keeps popping its head up, but I have to keep dissolving it, I have to keep realigning it. There's very much going on many things, when things, on the external world, but you've got to realise that's an illusion. That is the illusion. The internal world is the true reality, is your true nature, and this is what I feel that we're being guided for. As I start to connect into it now, I've just been given an old book, a very old book with old pages, and it's got like white writing on it. It's very intricate. It's got like a very intricate like level of bounding or whatever like that. But it's like a universal knowledge, universal wisdom. I feel this book they've given me is what they're talking about, and this is the kind of things that they're asking us to start to connect into. But they're giving me that to me now, because what I'm talking about is being guided, is being given, and it's been given to me right this moment as I start to talk to you. So I'm opening up to that. But this book would be symbolic of new wisdom, new understanding, new opportunities. But there's also, when I've talked about keys as well, keys that open up the doors. But you've got to empty out. You sometimes have to empty out like the your old energy vibration to allow a new one to come in. And this is what's going on. You need to sort of open up. And as I start to feel this energy is flowing out of my heart chakra, it's like it's flowing out, like thrown from the universe and going straight through my heart chakra as I talk to you right now. I was also given like a crystal ball, or like a pink ball of energy. It wasn't a crystal ball, but it's a sphere of energy. And that's obviously like anything circular is like a completion, but it's also the fact it's pink. It's bringing like harmony, it's bringing balance, it's bringing like understanding, wisdom, love, universal love. But pink is very much around that. Pink is very much about this universal balance, this universal harmony, which we all need at the moment. But yeah, any kind of sphere as well. Like I feel like it's like a crystal ball. Then it's giving you insight and understanding. It's giving you guidance as you start to move into, the future. It's bringing that kind of insight that we need. And a lot of us are going through this, because I think there's a lot of people on the planet that feel very confused at the moment, because the energies that are coming through are very heightened. And as I said before, fifth dimensional reality does not exist in 3D reality, because 3D reality, it cannot exist there. Like the guides don't exist there. So this is why we need to go into this higher sort of frequency, this higher awareness. So the fifth dimensional reality is the blueprint, yeah, and this is like aspects of like sacred geometry, where you've got shapes and things like that allow you to create. But it's about manifestation. I feel this is very much what the awakening is about. You need to manifest your reality, you manifest your vision, but you do that by connecting into source energy. And then what happens is, like I said to you before, this is where your infinite being comes in. So your higher consciousness, your higher awareness is connected in your source energy, in your fifth dimensional blueprint. So you don't really, as in essence, you don't need to manifest and create. What you need to do is stay open for new opportunities and new energy frequencies that start to come through, as I feel that this is going to start happening now. And letting go of those old frequencies, and knowing that, whatever your source energy or your soul is here for, is being created. That blueprint's already there. All you have to do is open up to it. And when you start to do that, then things will start to appear. Again, I'm seeing like a golden path now in my mind's eye as I start to talk this. So I know gold is symbolic of wisdom, but alchemy and creation. But it's also, a golden path is like a new dawning, a new day. So there's so much frequencies and so many energies that are coming at the moment. A lot of us are healing though. A lot of us are healing still as we start to move in. But this is what this time's about: healing. But it's about opening up. So you need to take time to go within, and this is why this universal law of correspondence is so essential at the moment, because it's bringing a new state of being that we all need. And this is what beingness is about: is being in touch with source energy and guidance and the ascended masters. And that source energy, when we're in beingness and we're in that source energy, then we connect to the planet. All of it, just being in that frequency, shifts and dissolves the 3D. It dissolves it and allows the 5D blueprint to start to be created, to start being manifesting, and that's why we need to do that. So this time's very much around a lot of people doing that. A lot of people I've heard talk about 5D reality, talking about right word, right actions, right way of being. All of that is external stuff. So for me, that doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't sit with me, because as a spiritual being, it's what I have to be in harmony, and I have to be in resonance with my source energy, which is within me. It is my I am presence. It's not something that's outside of me. It's my very nature. It's my very essence. It's my very vibration. So some of the stuff that people are talking about, and we still got a lot of people that spiritually are talking about like money, and like the law of abundance and like the law of attraction, and but in the fifth dimension, money is not a reality, because it's not even, it doesn't work in that. It's all about energy and light. It's not about money. You create that through, and once you start to, once you start to integrate that fifth dimensional reality, you're very much around that. The abundance is there because the universe will provide. And you start to be honest, you start to come away from the 3D reality of money, and all those kind of things that the 3D reality is very much around. It's around materialism. It's around very much around those kind of things. So, but it's I'm being directed, and I'm being told more and more to go within and spend more time in there, which I have not done lately because I've been more distracted by external things. But that is the message from the masters, to go within, start to feel that 5D shift in reality, and shift in consciousness, and then start to create that and manifest that daily until you can live in that vibration more and more for longer periods, until that will then start to open up, and the things that you feel that are problems and barriers and challenges in your life won't be, because you'll be at peace and harmony. You'll be in a fifth dimensional reality, and it will dissolve those, because then what will happen is open up, and it will attract, with the law of attraction, it will attract those fifth dimensional sort of opportunities, those fifth dimensional spiritual frequencies to you. Because a lot of the stuff that we were holding on to at the moment, that we feel are barriers and challenges, are only barriers and challenges because we're still living and remaining in a 3D reality. So it's very much about manifesting and creating that 5D reality, and that's what this message is about today.